Hello there! Today I want to share with you 5 words of advice for art educators to manage a productive studio practice. You know, many times I have been asked, how do I manage teaching, curating, gallery, my family, and other things while I'm still keeping my studio practice going? Well, the quick answer that I have is always time management. However, it is more than just that. I keep a very active exhibition schedule that demands continuous production. There is no reason why your studio career should be diminished just because you decided to go into education. But the sad reality that I have seen in many artists and educators is that teaching kind of becomes the thing that takes over their lives, and their art practice just trails behind, trying to catch up. So they feel guilty when they cannot get in their studio as often as they wish. Many become complacent, and at that point many great artists are stuck in a not very good situation. I strongly believe that if you are really serious about your studio practice, you will make it work regardless of your teaching schedule. I want to give you 5 words of advice that I believe will help you manage a productive studio practice while taking care of your teaching art career. Well, the first one is be ambitious. If you have no ambition or desire to move your art career ahead, no one's going to do it for you. You will not grow as an artist. Ambition has a way of motivating us to do things that are not necessarily easily, convenient, or comfortable. But if your studio practice is suffering, you first need to desire to do something about it. Maybe start by reading a book, visit an art gallery, go to an opening, watch an artist interview, or do any other activity that will motivate you to get going. You know what? I started a blog of artists in their studios as a way to share with the world the studio spaces of contemporary artists. For me, it is also kind of a personal resource of inspiration that reminds me to work harder every day on my own practice. And you can check it out at artistintheirstudios.com. Number 2, schedule your studio time. Organization is very important to get going. I assume that you are organized with your classes, right? You know the days and the times you are supposed to show up for every class. In the same way, you have to organize your life in order to make room for your studio, because you don't have the luxury of walking into it when you feel like it or when you feel inspired. Anyway, Chuck Ross already said, inspiration is for amateurs, the rest of us just show up and do it. So don't argue with Chuck, just follow his advice. Maybe start by doing an inventory of your weekly activity. Now for me, I have the habit of scheduling certain days a week for my studio practice. I only schedule the time I go in the studio, not the time I get out of the studio. I cherish each moment I spend in my studio because I know every minute counts and every minute is precious. I don't recommend putting yourself a goal of specific hours, because when you don't meet your quota, then you feel guilty about it. You don't want to make art out of guilt, and I don't recommend that to anyone. Art is not about punching in and punching out. At the end, it's not about what goes into it, but what comes out of the studio that really counts. Nobody's going to ask you for your timesheet. However, everyone will want to see the result of your work in the studio. Now, number 3, make teaching an asset rather than a hurdle. If you don't enjoy teaching, you should not do it. If you enjoy it, however, I assume you're good at it. So when your students enjoy spending the day in your class, their good energy flows into your life as well. Take advantage of that. What can you do to feed your creative juices while you are in the classroom, while you're teaching? If you teach a studio class, demonstrate and work along with your students from time to time. Be creative in that moment. Take breaks to enrich your mind. In the higher ed world, it's very easy to get stuck in the day-by-day activity. But before you know it, years have passed by and your studio practice is not any better than it was 10 years ago. So make changes. Number 4, live a healthy lifestyle. If you don't have a healthy lifestyle, you will not have enough energy after a full day of teaching to do anything else. Are you eating healthy and resting enough? Are you exercising and maintaining your body in good shape to meet the demands of a really busy schedule? Teaching is a highly demanding career that will leave you energyless very often. I personally do juicing every morning and drink a homemade power drink to keep my energy level high throughout the day. You can find a link to my recipe at the bottom of this video. Now, the body is a high-performance machine that needs to be well taken care of in order to function properly. So get a good night's sleep the night before you schedule a long day in the studio. That will help you get your energy going. Number 5, keep an active exhibition schedule. The truth is that if you do not have definite deadlines, sometimes nothing gets done or takes forever to get done. Think about your own students. You always give them deadlines to get things done. Grades are due on certain days. Deadlines have the magical power to make us move to a certain pace. The same should be true in your studio practice. If you don't have any activity coming up, chances are you may not be producing enough work. Maybe it is a good time for you to start looking into exhibition opportunities. Use the network that you have right now and try to find those. Find what is your logical next level and make significant advances towards it. Do whatever it takes to keep a pace that advances your art career. That also means having time for networking and art management activities. In most cases, there is no excuse for you not to find a way to be productive. Of course, there are special circumstances that last for a certain period of time, but I hope they are not a lifetime problem. You know, when I started teaching some 10 years ago, I found it very difficult to get my studio practice going. Over the years, I have learned to keep a highly productive studio practice. I wish someone had given me these 5 words of advice back then, and that's why I created this video. If I can do it, you can probably as well. My annual exhibition schedule is usually full way ahead. That means that I will be scheduling plenty of time in the studio. Now, I never said it was going to be easy, and it never is. Wherever there's a will, there is a way. So there you have it. Make life changes and create the art you always wanted.